we've got loads of questions to have fun with, and we're all going to attempt to answer them in our own unique ways, and see what happens, see what occurs. There are absolutely no rights or wrongs. It might sound a bit judgy. So if someone's mentioning your sign and you're feeling a little bit fragile, it's okay to let us know in the chat if you're watching live, because it might just be that this miscommunication between us, and we're very, very happy to explain anything. If you are really, really feeling sensitive, then this might not be the show for you, just because I think it's going to be fun and then also quite insightful. We've got 3 Scorpio ascendants here, and also a Scorpio moon, and also a whole heap of Gemini energy. So it is going to be insightful, and it may well cut a little bit deep as we laugh at ourselves, to be fair. So how it's going to work is we've got 49 questions, and we're going to take it in turns asking a question. My husband's going to host it and kind of make sure we all get a fair crack of the whip. And then when he feels we've answered it, he has very little knowledge of star signs as well, which I think makes it even better.
How rude.
Sorry.
No.
And yeah, we're going to do as much as we can. And then if it's fun, we'll come back another time. So I can see we've got some people joining us. We've got Aruna Raja saying, looking forward to seeing you all. Cheryl Wolf is saying, can't wait. Sandra's joining us from Toronto. Hi, everyone. And Cheryl's also saying, love that combo. So let's bring everyone on right now. So, Carl, can you do the honors?
There we go. Look, hi.
And we need to put Jasmina in as well.
I'm there with Jasmina, no problem. Look, there you go.
Hello,
everyone.
Jasmina, we can hear you.
So, before we get going, can you all introduce yourself? Let's do it in alphabetical order so it's a bit easier. So we'll start with Alexandra. Tell us who you are and what are your big 3, like your ascendant, your star sign, your moon sign, and also where you practice your astrology.
Well, that'll be Alexandra first.
Oh. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Okay? We can hear you.
Good, because I'm Grand Air Trine. One of my big 3 is my Gemini moon conjunct the South Node. I'm Sun, Pisces, and lots of other stuff, Pisces and Scorpio rising. So yes, I find.
And so, what name do you go under? Jupiter Returns. I can see you there. Perfect.
Jupiter Returns. You can find me mostly on Facebook, but there's a website, and I do a little bit on Instagram, but not really very much.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We're going to mute you just and bring you back on, just because we're all in different parts of the world. So, you're in Devon, aren't you, Alexandra? Oh, we've lost her.
She was in Devon.
She was in Devon. Right. We've got people from all over the world, and obviously we've all got different speeds and stuff like that. So, let's see where this goes. So next, in alphabetical order, that would be you, Jasmina.
Well, hello, everybody. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me. I had some technical difficulties, but I'm on my phone now. Everything is good. Yeah, I'm sending hello from Canada. We had snow this morning, so happy spring to everybody in Canada with the fresh snow. That's what it is. So my big 3s, I'm a Gemini sun and a Gemini moon and Virgo ascendant. So it's mercurial girl all the way around. Yeah. And I have been practicing like a modern astrology for years now, but more seriously the last couple of years. And I'm coming from Steve's Judd School. He was one of my first teachers. Yeah.
Yeah, we know Steve, don't we?
I used to work with Steve back over 10 years ago doing an astrological phone-in, where I think I gave him the name the Kick Astrologer.
Yeah.
He's what a great guy.
Yeah.
Steve, you should see this.
And Kimberly, tell us about you. Are you there, Kimberly?
Yeah, I'm muted because I have a little miniature Dachshund, and she's very excited over spring. There's lots of things to bark at.
Yes.
Yeah. So I am, what are we doing? Sun, rising, and moon. So I'm Libra, Scorpio, rising, and I have a stellium there with my Neptune and Mercury conjunct on top. I mean, the same degree. It's like, so this Neptune that we just had, it's like, oh boy, I always getting all kinds of downloads. So, and I have a Taurus moon, and excellent. I am in Kentucky, and I have a YouTube channel that's my name. So Kimberly Crow, What else?
Excellent.
That's it.
Excellent.
And
Thank you.
Jasmina, people can find you with your name as well.
Yes, absolutely. My first and last name, Jasmina Brazovic. And why I use my full name is because there's an asteroid Brazovic on my ascendant. Just a funny fact.
No way!
Wow.
I
Yeah.
love that. Cool. Carl, do you want to say hello?
Yeah, well, as you said, I'm the thorn between the roses here tonight and here to help with the quiz. And there are 49 questions, as you said. I don't think we're going to get through all of them, but we've got a good variety of questions, and we will ask people to choose. Our audience tonight can choose between 1 and 49. So, I mean, go ahead and do that. If you want to pick a number between 1 and 49, that'll be the first out of the hat tonight for these ladies to answer. But it's like AJKL, Louisa. So introduce yourself, I think.
Yeah, so I can see Shannon's come straight in with a number as well.
Right,
so we'll start with that one.
Yep.
I'm Louisa. Most of you know me because this is my channel. I'm a Sagittarius, Scorpio rising, Pisces moon, and we're coming live to you from Portugal. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
Should we get going then?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, I've got my bell ready, and thank you very much. I'll ask you again for a number. Shannon was straight in. With the number 12, and then we'll go with Bluebell. Yes, the meaning of life 42. We'll do that after. But thanks, Shannon. Great to see you here, and thanks everybody. Keep bringing those greetings into the chat. It's lovely to see people all around the world joining us this evening. And number 12, then
you're going to put the question up, All right, sorry.
Okay, which sign? Number 12. Question number 12. Which sign then? For the astrologers here this evening, is most likely to up sticks and leave town in 2024. Now, I think a lot of people feel like that, don't they? But which sign is most likely to do that? So let's do it in alphabetical order again, and then we'll shift that pattern, and we'll give everybody a go to start off. But it's you, Alexandra. A for Alexandra. Let's see what you have to say about that. The sign most likely to up sticks and leave town. And in the chat, please, if this resonates with you, say so in the chat as well. So over to you, Alexandra.
Did you hear that okay? Because I can see you've put in a private chat message.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, thanks, sweetheart. I did. It's just a bit patchy. I would say with this one that I think it's going to be probably Gemini, and I will refine. Oh, I think you might have lost me.
No, carry on. Keep going.
The third Mercury retrograde of this year will be in Sag, opposite Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. So they're going to be in each other's houses, and I think if ever there's going to be some switchery going on in terms of neighborhood and locality, that's where it'll be.
Excellent.
Gemini,
great answer.
then. Thank you very much, Alexandra. Let's meet you up and come back to you a little bit later on. So we'll go to Jasmina now. Which sign is most likely to up sticks and leave town in 24? Would you agree with me that a lot of people are feeling like that at the moment?
Absolutely. And I agree with Alexandra 100% because me as a Gemini, I already have planned the whole summer in Europe, not even being at home. So there you go. So You've already up sticks. I already have everything in motion. So I would 100% agree because Jupiter will bring that excitement for Geminis that they want to explore. They're curious anyway, but this is just going to be on a larger scale, moving from the local community and exploring some other parts of the world. It literally has to be over the ocean, something big and interesting. I do feel that Taurus might surprise you with this Uranus-Taurus conjunction in April. So they might surprise themselves, even themselves, and go somewhere even they cannot imagine at this moment. So I wouldn't give it against Taurus this year as a surprise.
All right, thank you. So Gemini and Taurus so far. Lots of Texans in tonight. That'd be question 50, I think, why there's so many Texans watching this evening. So we might come back to that. Let's go to you, Kimberly, please.
Yeah, I think, I was going to say Aries just because of the eclipses, but as you were speaking, it felt maybe Taurus because of eclipses last year. I feel like they're finishing up. And when that Jupiter-Uranus conjunct happens, they're just going to be like, I'm ready to pull up and do something different. So that could be the one that surprises us. I think they'll be the one that surprises us, because they're usually not too crazy about going anywhere.
Okay, and Cheryl's agreeing here. Gemini rising, time to travel overseas sounds lovely. Portugal's very nice, Cheryl.
Yeah.
We can recommend Portugal for sure. Louisa.
Well, I really agree with all three of you. Unsurprisingly, I really think Gemini has all the ingredients there, because obviously, Mercury likes to zip around, lots of short breaks and things, and then Jupiter going into your own sign is going to be pretty exciting and open things up. However, again, in terms of surprise, I think, Taurus is, quite possibly the one to do it, because they've been going through so many changes. So I agree, with Gemini and Taurus. Yeah. Okay. I also, when you were talking about the eclipses, Kimberly, I really like the fact, because one of the things that's really occurring to me right now is we are coming to the end of lots of patterns, and there's new stuff happening, and when we're all clearing out, isn't that a time when we start to think, time to move? So it really wouldn't surprise me if Pisces did something quite surprising as well, because with Neptune coming towards the end, and I don't know, it just feels like there's change happening, and of course the nodes are going to be moving from Aries into Pisces at the beginning of 2025. So I don't know. I think this is great fun, though.
Okay. Well, Cheryl would love to come to Portugal. We can hang out. Definitely, Cheryl. And Phil has already up sticks and moved to Portugal. In fact,
he has,
a Gemini. Yes. And Shannon is always ready to up and leave. Okay, thank you for that. And Jade, good evening to you. Thank you for being here. Would travel possibly be the case with Jupiter conjunct midheaven? Do you want to comment on that? Who would like to pick that up?
I would say so. I think everyone's probably saying that, aren't they?
Right, okay. All right, fair enough. Let's move on then. The second question we're looking at from Bluebell.
Number 42.
Yes, there you go. 42, meaning of life, a universe and everything. Bluebell, thank you very much for that. And I noticed some of these questions have been asked by members of the community. So you may hear your name and you may hear your question tonight, depending on what gets pulled from the hat or requested by our audience tonight. Question 42 is, which sign is most likely to do their own things, and dislike feeling caged, imposed upon? That's another zeitgeist feeling. But in terms of star signs, Jasmine, let's start with you on that. Who fits the bill there?
Absolutely Aries. I know that it sounds cliche, but with these eclipses, as you guys mentioned, and the North Node being there, and there's Chiron there, and there's so many things happening with Aries, and especially this April, Mercury retrograde, like they're gonna really think things over and make the run for who they want to be towards their own authentic selves. Libra might surprise us on the other side, because Libras are here with these eclipses to let go of some things and do something unusual and new. So they might do something on their own, their own thing as well, just as an opposite to Aries. So I wouldn't hold against Libra. So, but Aries are number one for sure.
All right. Thank you, Jasmine, for that. Kimberly, this thing about being caged in, most likely to feel that, as well as doing your own thing. What do you think?
Oh, she's lost the sound.
Let's get you unmuted as well.
Oh,
keeps muting back. Why is it doing that?
Because Louisa keeps fiddling in the background. That's why. Go ahead, Kimberly. Thank you.
I felt as soon as you said it, I thought Libra, but I'm a Libra sun, and it may be more career related with the Libras, that they just all of a sudden go, that's it, no more people pleasing, no more family pleasing, I'm done with the conditioning. And that opposite polarity with the eclipses and everything else is going on. And I think that they could make a big move that way. And yes, I've been having dreams about Portugal. So I want to talk to you all about this.
That's right. Honestly, this isn't like a massive Portugal promotion funded by the
It's so weird. I had a dream and I knew that's where I was. And then today my chiropractor told me that's where she was last week. And I was like, everybody I talk to, that's where they're going. And just like, I gotta talk to you people. Yeah.
Wow. We are the belly button chakra of the world, I'm told. There is a spiritual significance with Portugal, but let's not dominate with Portugal stuff tonight. So thank you very much for that, Kimberly. Did you want to add any more to that?
No, that's good.
Okay, so Eloisa, please. Caged, imposed upon, doing your own thing. Who's that going to be?
Ooh. As a Saggy, and that question came from me actually, because earlier I was feeling imposed upon and caged in.
Yes.
But in terms of this year ahead, who is most likely to do that?
Hold on.
You lost your sound, Louisa. When he went, your sound went with it.
Yeah, guys, it's happening. This is Neptune Sun conjunction. Everything is in blur and not clear.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Sorry
We're
about
in the
that.
fog
Carl,
of the Neptune.
we had
Yeah.
one of our kids busted in and said, "Daddy, I need a poo." So that's why that's what happens when you work from home. So anyway, I was feeling a little bit caged in earlier and a little bit imposed upon. So that was partly my question. But in terms of this year, who's most likely to feel? Do you know what? I think with Pluto going into Aquarius, like dancing on the edge of Aquarius, I think all of a sudden it's just going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. So I think the Aquarians are going to be like showing up a little bit more. Let's bring Alexandra back on. What are your thoughts for this? Who's going to feel most imposed upon?
Yeah, specifically for 2024, I'm in that camp with you of the kind of the Pluto in Leo kind of opposition to Pluto in Aquarius.
So the boomers are going to really feel it.
I think, if we're going generational, absolutely. Yeah. But I think that just that Pluto just won't leave you alone when it's got you in its sights, right? It's just going to really, really drill you down. So, and they're not used to it, I don't think.
Yeah. Yes.
And we're going to have a Mercury retrograde in Leo as well. And there's the squares to Uranus, and Uranus has always got that sense of, I just need freedom, like let me out of here. So I think that's where I put my money. The Leos, perhaps Leo, Aquarius.
Yes, I get that. And it's interesting. Havana Blast is saying no picnic for early Leos either. And actually, like later on, starting in November, we've got the start of the Pluto Mars oppositions, and they're lasting, pretty much from start to finish, like 6 months, right into April of 2025. So all the fixed signs are going to be feeling like Scorpios are going to be feeling it as well, given that Pluto and Mars rule it. We're all going to be like, so yes. Yeah, I think there's a lot of caged in feelings going on. What was the next number we had? Was it 13? That's right. Sandra said, let's start with question 13. So let's bring that one up and see what it is, in fact. Okay, which sign is most likely to shag a celebrity? Kimberly.
Gemini.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep, the Gemini is just,
Okay, so Gemini, that was just an unequivocal Gemini is most likely to okay, right.
See, it's like,
I feel naked. I feel cold. I don't know what to say.
Enjoy.
Yeah. Well, I'm next on the list. Now, historically, I know a few people who have shagged a celebrity, and they've all been the positive signs, like air and fire signs, not particularly of anyone necessarily. Phil saying, "Don't tell Lady K." Okay, we won't reveal that for you, Phil. Carl's back. So I think fire signs are most likely to shag a celebrity.
Disgusting.
Sorry. Alex and then Jasmine.
Right, Alexandra, sorry about that. Which star sign babysitter is least likely to attend to a poo-poo? I think that's probably a Virgo, right? It's okay, I'm here. Alexandra, over to you. And we'll unmute you for that.
I think Pisces would just dissociate from all that kind of thing. It's just too real. Sorry.
Yeah. Is everybody thinking about their friends in this regard?
Yes.
Remember, casting their minds back to younger times and celebrity liaisons. Okay. Do you want to say anything else, Alexandra?
No. That's. I mean, are we on the celebrity we're not on
celebrity shag.
I would call it liaison with celebrities. I find it very vulgar the way this question's been put. But go on.
I'm sorry. I heard a question about babysitting and poo. Sorry.
I'm sorry
What's
if that
going on?
broke your stride. I beg your pardon. Yes.
Oh, that's
okay.
why she was answering Pisces and she'd dissociate.
Oh, I
Right.
see. Okay.
I
If you'd like to go.
dissociated from the whole horror. Yeah, like sorry.
Okay, yeah, fair
If
enough.
we're
Okay,
still-
let's go back to question 13 then. The celebrity
If we're still on celebrity
sexual
shagging, I am
relations,
100% with. Yeah, I'm 100% with Kimberly and the Gemini. I can't add anything to that. It will be.
Okay.
You know,
Interesting.
they're going to be. Yeah, that or maybe Taurus.
Yes.
You know,
Why Taurus?
they. Well, I just think with the combination of Jupiter and Uranus being there,
Yes.
it might just bring out their freaky side.
Yeah.
You know, and let it spread far and wide, and have some popularity, and someone with a lot of appeal or global appeal, perhaps.
Okay.
And it would be so out of character for them, which would be the Uranus. So maybe Taurus is during the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow, very
What-
specific. Thank you.
What about you, Jasmina?
Sorry, yes.
I'm gonna give something totally different,
Go
just
on.
because I feel attacked with all this Gemini. So I'm gonna say Scorpios.
Ooh.
And why Scorpios? So first of all, I don't think it's going to be actually fire signs, because Saturn is squaring Geminis and Sagittarius. You know, they're going to lose this confidence to go for a celebrity, maybe a local person. But you know, there's a lot of lack of confidence with the Saturn squares. So you know, maybe not this year.
Okay.
But I would go Scorpios. I think they have. Now with Pluto squaring, you know, the early Scorpios, they have Pluto squaring their sun or moon who has that, or ascendant early. They might feel that urge to explore the deep unknown, like a stalker effect. You know how Scorpio can go like stalking their favorite celebrity and go for it. Yes.
Wow, I love that.
Look,
They're going to feel empowered. They're going to feel empowered by Pluto to do it.
I don't know. Do you know what? Thank you for that, Jasmina. I don't know if it's the question that was asked, but suddenly there are loads of people who don't usually watch your channel here, are like getting involved tonight. Michael Bliss, happy birthday to you yesterday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Pisces, can I still let my freak flag fly?
Totally.
That's entirely your. We can't give that sort of advice, can we tonight? So, but there is an opening. Phil, Michael, I think new to the screen, and Nubianet as well. Ooh, I almost missed this. Doing some housework. I know that wasn't supposed to be a priority, but it motivated me. There is an opportunity to choose the next question. So we've had question 12, 13, and 42. So that's question 13. I think you all had a crack at that, haven't you?
Yeah.
As it were. Okay. So if somebody wants to put a number into the chat between 1 and 49, we will ask the next question. We're waiting for you to do it. This is a great idea, Mrs. M.
Okay.
Isn't it? 36. Thank you, Sandra. Let us know where you're watching from, Sandra. And number 5 from Cheryl Wolf, so we'll come back to that. So 36, and I'm scrolling down to 36, and it's which sign is most likely to convert? Oh, interesting. Convert to another religion or philosophy, and that'll be around in this time. Generally speaking, or in this time. We're talking about in this time,
well,
we contemporarily. Both, okay, absolutely. Who's going to start on this one, Mrs. M?
I think it's my go now.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, ordinarily. Yeah, and this is only based on my actual personal experience. I know loads and loads of Cancerian people who are really devoted, devout, and religious and spiritual. And so I would go with Cancer. But in terms of this year, like who's about to convert and feel things really deeply in a new way, I think my money's on maybe Aquarius, maybe Gemini. Now, Geminis are quite rational. And they're really, really interested in learning about things. So it could be that something captures their attention. And then Jupiter, like, who is all about belief systems and, you know, also kind of expansion, he may well, you know, take them on a bit of a ride. Mm-hmm. But then Pluto, you know, the Aquarians could be looking at their shadow self. So I'm going to go, ordinarily I'd say Cancer, but right now I would say Gemini or Aquarius.
Okay. Would you agree, Alexandra?
Again, I'm so sorry. It's very boring. I'm going to go Pisces again. I think
it's a Pisces evening.
No, she's a Pisces.
Oh, okay, all right. So evening then. Okay.
I think what I think is like the Saturn going through Pisces is literally making a lot of us feel entirely God-forsaken. It's like there is no God anymore. It's just like this is hell. And then with the Neptune retrograde that we're having square the galactic center, and at the very, very end of Pisces, I think that's like, it's an opening for something, you know, an incredibly powerful new belief in some kind of source, you know, that we haven't encountered before. And it's almost like they're working together, you know, out with the old and in with something bigger, perhaps.
Pisces, I'm feeling you there. I mean, that question at the moment, you're like,
you've got Saturn in Pisces, actually.
But that whole feeling, God, where are you? That, you know, do not forsake us at this time. Incredible. Thank you very much for that, Jasmine. Kimberly, go ahead.
Yeah, it felt like, I feel the Pisces energy too, but you know, it feels more like, instead of turning to God, it's like, I am God, you know, that embodiment awakening that Pisces, instead of them being out there looking for God, or, you know, how to get to God, that there's like a more of a embodiment. Does that make sense? Like I can feel more of a, they're going to be the ones that's going to have a different level of awakening this year, you know, like that ascension kind of awakening. But it's a descension into embodiment.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
So, and part of that is examining the very notion of God. Then, from what you're saying, what does that mean to us? And people are asking that question more seriously, perhaps, in these interesting times that we live in.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to turn against. There's going to be a real upheaval with the conditioning.
Yeah,
I'll say it in that way. You know, like all of a sudden, everybody's going to be like, "What the fuck?"
That's a hell of a moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Physical mass of people all asking that question.
That'd
Brilliant.
be amazing.
Thank you, Kimberly, for that, Louisa.
Oh,
you started this, didn't you?
Jasmina hasn't answered yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Forgive me, Jasmine. I'm sorry.
Don't worry. Come on. I just want to. I was thinking when you guys were talking, and I'm thinking, what about Virgo? They have Saturn and Neptune opposite their sign. You know, it's pulling them something to make some radical change, and they're so in their bodies usually. So maybe this opposition will actually stretch them to go look beyond their everyday life and their bodies, and especially until Jupiter is still in Taurus. So because it's trining them. So I think that might give them a little bit boost, maybe in the first half of the year. Amazing. Just a thought. Again, I'm controversial today. Totally
love it. I love it. I love
absolutely perfect. Now Cheryl was straight in after Sandra with, and this had to happen tonight, didn't it? Which sign of the zodiac is most likely to identify as a narcissist? Now you were saying, weren't you? Nobody need get offended tonight. This could be that moment, everybody. Alexandra, over to you. We need you unmuted as well, Alexandra. To the first to take on the narcissist question. Go on.
Am I unmuted again now?
We can hear you. Yeah, we got you.
Gosh, oh my God, this is so hard. Like specifically this year rather than ordinarily, and actually admitting it themselves.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Perhaps. Question 4 was which sign of the zodiac is most likely to be called a narcissist, and question 5 is which sign of the zodiac is most likely to identify. So self-identification is the key here.
I mean, there's a whole. I mean, crikey. I'm gonna go with. I think. Gemini. No, I'm going to go with Taurus again, because I just think that whole, when Uranus is there, there's almost like, especially when it's in a sign that's not familiar with doing things very differently, or doing a lot of change, or being provocative or rebellious. I think like it's going to be one of those awful attempts at trying to be something you don't have a lot of practice at with Uranus there, and therefore you're going to like perhaps go too crazy with it, especially when Jupiter's around there. So maybe they will. And you know, it's the second sign. It's very much about me. It's like kind of Taurus is like, you know, I'm happy with, I'm comfy, everything's fine in the world when I've got my Venusian needs are met. And and it's kind of as simple as that. So I think they're just going to be like, oh God, I need to change, and I don't know how that looks because I've never actually done it.
But why not? I'll just
So
identify as a narcissist. Yeah, okay. Thank you for that, Alexandra. Jasmina, would you agree with that? Who is likely or most likely to identify as a narcissist?
Again, a shocking one. I was thinking about it, and I think it's gonna this year specifically Capricorns. So why Capricorns? So I told my Capricorn friends I love you. Don't
You say that now.
Usually Leos are the ones always, put on a pedestal as the narcissist one. But I would feel that this year Capricorn, just because they were hammered by Pluto for so long, and it's still not the end. And then they're squared by these eclipses. And I think that, they have this determination and inside of them not to give up. And they're going to feel like, you know what, I'm better than this. I'm number one. I can, like they got empowered with all these changes. And they are like full of themselves now. Look at me. I survived all of this, in that sense, they can be a little bit of, narcissistic this year because they're the survivals. They're the survivals of many changes that had happened recently. So
thank you.
It's justifiable. Let's say.
All right.
Just this year.
Basically, Sandra's saying, go check WhatsApp after the show. To find it. You're right. I mean, Sandra was saying Leo. We've got Saggy's lol says Amy's Menagerie Enlightenment. That's an interesting channel for sure. And there's a hi Louisa, Jasmina, and everyone from Jodie Lee as well. Thanks for joining us. And hi Bluebell and lol there from Amy. Let's go to Kimberly then on this question of who is most likely to identify as a narcissist. Kimberly,
I was going to say Aquarius, and part of it was because of the whole Pluto thing. But after listening to Jasmina, she's convinced me. You're right. It's like, okay. I think it's Capricorns, and when I think about it, I love my Capricorn friends, I really do. But there is a little part of that that's kind of there to begin with. They definitely know what it is that they want, what they want materialistically, and they don't settle for something different. They keep going at it. So I think they may take that crown and that throne and say, yes, it's me and it's about me this time around, and I'm the queen or king of this.
And fair play to anyone who's got broad enough shoulders to take that on at the moment, right? Because it's one of the worst. It's one of the worst labels going around the world at the moment, isn't it? And for somebody to say, "Okay, I'm open to having a look at this," fair play to that sign. So whoever identified Capricorn might still have friends after all. Maybe you can go into counselling together. So let's go to Louisa.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I'm also going to go for Capricorn, but for slightly different reasons. Okay.
Right.
So I'm looking at it from the perspective. I loved your rationing as well, by the way, Alexandra. But like, which sign of the zodiac is most likely to identify? When I read that question, what I think is you only identify if you're actually kind of comfortable with that label. And I've intimately, and I mean this I was with a Capricorn for 11 years. So I know that they're actually okay with carrying things on their shoulders. They're okay at sometimes, being cast as somebody who takes risks or does the thing that lots of other signs just wouldn't be capable of doing or wouldn't want to. They're able to make difficult decisions. And so I think the practical side of them might allow them to consider that they are. But I think the trick here is, I think it's a trick question. I think it's an unanswerable question, because anyone that can see themselves as a narcissist is not a narcissist, because narcissism is not reflective.
Yep, good point. Okay, thank you very much for that. It was a
great answers, though.
Yeah, thank you all of you for that. We're going to move on. Number 18. This was requested by Shannon. You're so vain was written for which star? What happened there? Written for which star sign? So let's go with, who did we start with last time? I'm lost now. Should we start with? Oh, it's got to be Alexandra again. So Alexandra, do you know the tune, Carly Simon tune? You're so vain. I bet you think this song is about you. There's a narcissistic element continuing into this question. I think. Who do you think this song was written for in terms of star signs? Because we still don't know if it's Warren Beatty, if it's Mick Jagger, as Carly Simon wrote it. Which star sign might have it been written for?
I mean, are we sticking with the theme of 2024 or just in general?
Let's go to this special time in history, 2024. This is a perennial song. It's a great song, isn't it? It stood the test of time. We see the archetypes in there. It's a fantastic song. Everyone sings along to it. And you're like, yeah, I think I know who that is. But which star sign is it in 2024?
In 2024, I'm going Aquarius. I just think all that power, Pluto landing on them, and you've got that super interesting polarity with Leo. Maybe I'm biased. I've had Uranus on my descendant for a year now, and I've magnetized every kind of Uranian freak and drawn them towards me.
Interesting. Okay.
And I've seen the shadow side, the Leo side of the Aquarian kind of thing. So yeah, I think under all that coolness, there's a desperate need to be seen, and I think with Pluto there, they're just gonna make sure they have their moment in the spotlight.
That's wonderful, Alexandra. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I don't remember Carly Simon writing about Uranian freakiness, but maybe if she re-records it for 2024, that'll be in there. Thank you, Alexandra. Let's go to Jasmina on this one. Which star sign was You're So Vain written for?
Yeah, I know when I think of Mick Jagger, he's a Leo, right? So I think she was probably talking about, but it was Warren Beatty. Is he also Leo? I don't know. I know
these are two suspects in how that song's written. And if you listen to the song, you can hear Mick Jagger singing in it as well. So he's there asserting himself at every possible angle with that. So you think it might be him, and you think it's about Leo? Possibly.
It's always about Leo. So Leos, they have it all the time in them. It doesn't matter which year is it, what planet, where are we? It's always about them. So we have to acknowledge that, which is okay. But this year specifically, I agree with Alexandra with Aquarius, and I'm going to put Geminis on spot as well, just because Pluto is trining them, and they have, and Jupiter is coming to their side, so they're going to be about maybe a little bit, although Saturn is squaring. But I think they're going to feel a little bit of, I'm a little bit smarter today. Jupiter is about wisdom and stuff. So they might be a little bit vain about their knowledge. So Aquarius and Geminis, both of them, absolutely this year specifically. With Leo, obviously on the throne. We don't want to put Leo down from the throne.
Leo definitely feeling the heat tonight with this particular question. Sarah's joining us with a hello. Leo in capital letters. She's got some inside information, I suspect, there. Leo or Scorpio, I say, from Jodie Lee. And who also says, still love Scorpios and Leos, though. It's funny that a lot of you are saying, I'm going to say this nasty thing, but I still love you. And You're So Vain has to be Aries or Leo from Catriona Astro as well. Good evening to you. And Aruna, thank you for your commentary as well. Aruna Raja, Aquarian men can V as well. I think you're suggesting that, can be vain there. Thank you very much for that. Excellent. So we've heard from Jasmina. Let's go to Kimberly on this question of who was You're So Vain written for in terms of star signs, and especially in 2024.
Yeah, I was going to say Aquarius too, but then when the Aries thing popped up, it's like, maybe it is for Aries. It could be actually either one of those. And from past relationships with Aquarian men, I could see where the song would be rough for them.
Yeah,
it's like they're kind of oblivious to, to the one-on-one thing. So it's like it's always this kind of energy in that way. So yeah, I think I'm biased on that one.
Well, the lyrics are amazing.
I'm going to pick Aries since I'm biased to the Aquarians. I'll do a different card with it.
Well, definitely recommend to listen to that tune after the show. Stepping into the party like you're walking onto a yacht. That's Leo, isn't it? Go ahead, Miss Sim. What do you think?
Yeah.
Well, I just did a quick search because I think you said that song was written for possibly Warren Beatty or Mick Jagger.
Is it also
Mick's Leo?
Yeah.
And Warren, according to Google, is Aquarius.
Yeah.
So is that like Aquarius Leo polarity?
Yeah.
I think I think I would go with Leo, traditionally, Aquarius now.
Okay, it's one of 3 men apparently, Warren or Mick, or who's the other fella? Whenever I see your smiling face, I think he's the third suspect in this.
Whenever
But
I see your
I think it's time
smiling
to
face.
move on. I
Yeah.
think it's time to move on.
Ding your bell.
We'll have a karaoke next time we meet up. Okay, brilliant. So we have 18. That was question 18. And then Phil stepped forward. And we are taking more suggestions for questions here. So if you want to put a number
I've got
into
a
the chat
36,
between 1 and
a
49.
6 and a 10 that I saw in the chat.
It's 6 next, I think, from Phil, I saw there. So that was following on from the narcissistic question. Is this a continuing theme? Possibly. Number 6, which sign spends longer getting ready to go out? Okay, so let's go. Let's start with Jasmina on this. Who do you think spends the longest getting ready to go out? Now, on a sexist note, I mean, most women spend a really long time going out, but who spends the most time getting ready to go out?
You wouldn't believe it, but Mars in Pisces people take the longest. Okay.
Wow, why did you say that?
Yeah.
Because they have time, like, oh, what is time? What is, we have, and then, they just have all the time in the world and they're always late, because they don't have a concept. I'm kidding. But there is some true in that because, not in a way that they want to look good. That's why they take the longest, but just because they don't have a concept of time. That's why it takes them the longest for Pisces.
Could you tell us again who that was?
My husband.
Sorry, which? No, I didn't mean you. I didn't need you to name and shame. I'm sorry, Jasmina's husband.
It's okay. He knows.
I was looking for the sign, not the person.
So I would say Pisces, especially Mars, because Mars is action, right? So this is what takes us. Then Libras, because just they want to look pretty. So for the different reason. I would say Pisces and Libra for different reasons. They take the longest to prepare.
Thank you, Jasmina. Capricorn taking a bit more heat there, but Havana agreeing with you on Libra. Havana Blast, good evening to you, and Jade Roscoe saying Libra as well. So let's go from Jasmina to Kimberly. Who takes the longest to get ready to go out, Kimberly?
I was going to say Libra, but then I changed it to Cancer. And it's like, Cancer's one, they're like all into their nurturing of the body and what does the rest of the world see me as and this energy. So I'm going with Cancer instead. Libras do the pretty thing, but they can do it fast. It's just part of it. And they go, oh, there.
Let's go. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Phil can reinforce Pisces. I think we know what you mean by that. And Jody would say, I think Leo again. My dad spent a long time getting ready. He was a Virgo. You might expect that from Virgos. Inside, he was a peacock. And she got some good energy jumping out of her today. I think that's about you, Jasmina, that Amy's talking about there. The peacock says Aruna Araja, the peacock of the zodiac signs Leo. My ex-husband had a Mars in Pisces. OMG, he'd say whilst looking in the mirror, what a good-looking guy, huh? I hope that was a good impersonation for you, Aruna there. Who doesn't like to do that, honestly? Okay, so let's go to you, Mrs. M, on that.
Well, I was actually going to say Libra and Cancer.
Okay.
So Libra, because they just like to look good. But I do also think that it's kind of effortless for them to look good.
Okay.
Like they seem to invest in really good products and, they get their hair cut quite regularly. These are all stereotypes, obviously. and they wear really good clothes.
Right.
My sister's got like Libra ascendant and, she always is like well put together. But Cancer was the other one I was going to say, because they're worrying about how they're perceived. And you do have an ex-partner, don't you? That
being a Cancer,
like you said that you had an ex-partner that spent hours getting ready.
I think I'm already in enough trouble. Let's move on. Let's move on and bring Alexandra to answer this question onto the screen. Who takes the longest to get ready to go out? And by the way, this is so much fun. It's a great idea. Thank you all for being here tonight.
Yeah.
Says Sarah. I think we should do this again. And we've got about 15 minutes to go. So Alexandra, who takes the longest to go out or get ready to go out?
Yeah, I was going to say Virgo originally, because just that whole picky kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then I thought, actually probably Capricorns, because they just hate it so much. they just like, oh, I have to be with other people. I have to like try and look fun. I have to do fun things, you know, like just give me a suit and a BlackBerry or whatever, you know, like, oh, how do I do the fun thing? Yeah, and also that kind of like that, you know, the real kind of like emphasis they have on status and reputation. Like there's just so much hinging on it, you know, like what will people think? Yeah, so I think they're going to go through, certainly they're going to go through the most internal turmoil if it's a fun occasion. Yeah.
Very interesting. Is there a Capricorn helpline for after the show tonight?
I don't know, but
okay,
I'll happily take the call.
All right, yeah. If you've been affected by any of the negative comments about any of the star signs tonight, there may well be a helpline number after the show. You were describing Nubinette's dad there. And we need another number, everybody. So give us a number and we'll go to the next question.
Somebody did do, have you already done 5? Sorry, 6 or 10? We've done 6 or 10.
10 I didn't do. Who was that then who asked for number 10?
That was ages ago.
11 from Sandra, I'm going to go for, because I can't see 10 there. If you did ask for 10, do let me know. Sandra asked for question 11, so let's go straight to that right now. And that would be, which sign needs to stop whinging the most in 2020? Who's going to get a bashing now, I wonder, with this? Let's start with you, Kimberly. Who needs to stop? Who needs to just shut up right now?
That's the polarity of the two. Which one do I say? It's either Pisces or Virgo. It's like, which one is it? You know, it's one of those two. I'll let you all go with which ones. But yeah, it's either one of those two.
Okay. All right.
Virgo does it when they're in the shadow of the polarity of the signs. And I don't think Pisces doesn't know that they do it when they're in their martyrism energy. So, yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Jodie. Made a note of that. We've got 7 and 33 to come, and number 10 from Nubia Net. Joyanne is here tonight. Libra rising, Aries moon here. Hi from Oregon, USA. And also Dougie's joined us. I'm an Aquarius with a bit of water retention tonight, I think there. I think there's tablets you can get for that, Doug. And never heard that word.
Ooh, what word's that?
What's that? Whinging, whining, isn't it? Whinging, whining, complaining, going on, moaning. And they need to just take a chill pill and take it easy. So let's go to you, Louisa, on that. Who needs to stop whinging the most and whining and complaining? It's not Cancer, is it? Come on.
I'm going to say, sorry, Alexandra. I'm going to say Pisces and Virgo. Now, to be fair, Pisces have had a really crappy time of it because they've had Neptune going through their sign, and now they've got Saturn fannying around in their sign. So I think that makes it really difficult for them. And I think Virgos have a tendency to not be happy or contented when things aren't quite right. They like things to be like fit for purpose, and so when it's not like that, I think they struggle with that.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much, Alexandra. What do you have to say on this matter? Who needs to calm down? Which never works, does it?
Yeah.
And I should say I've got moon in Pisces, so
right.
I identify myself in that.
Okay.
I'm putting my hands up. I'm taking one for the Pisces team here.
Okay, very good.
We can be victims. We really can. We can be such victims, and when Saturn's about, like we've got even more reason than ever. It's like, oh God, I have to be trapped in a body, even though I'm a magical spiritual being, and I have Saturn.
Oh,
bless
yes. You are a magical being.
This is the thing. Like, just having to be a human being when you're a Pisces is so frustrating. Like, it's really hard, and then you have a hard transit on top. So whinge. We will just whinge about the whole thing because we have to be in a human body, and it's excruciating for us.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for owning up to that, and bless you for being in that predicament. And Shannon saying, yeah, my thoughts exactly on there. So let's go to Jasmina on this one. Who needs to stop whinging?
Well, Pisces is on the throne for this, but I want to take a little bit of ease of Pisces this year. I'm going to say Cancerians. And just because they have this subtle way of telling you, the passive aggressive way, you know, they're whining in that sense. So they can be, you know, it can be subtle. You don't like Piscean. They will tell you, they will sigh. You will see them on their faces. But Cancerians will do it in a different way. So I think that this year the Cancerians need to step up and just don't do this. Don't do it subtly. Just tell us, if there's a problem. Because this, underlying this subtleness of whining can be annoying. Sorry, Cancerians, I love you. I have my brother with cancer, everybody, but it can be really, really annoying. So
I thought it was really funny when Louisa said, if anyone gets hurt during this, I was thinking, who's going to get hurt? I just got hurt there.
I'm sorry.
I present that, Jasmina, but I don't deny it, however. I don't deny it. Okay, so let's go to Kimberly on this one. Well, did we start with you on this one, Kimberly?
With me.
Yeah,
You started with me.
Okay, so let's move on then. That's fantastic. Okay, wonderful. That was who needs to stop whinging the most in 2024. We are focusing on this time in history. And then I think we had, that was 11, wasn't it? And then the next question that came in was Jodie Lee with number 7. We asked who spends the most time getting ready to go out. However, number 7, who spends longer getting ready for a night in? Who would you say does that? That starts with you then, Louisa.
Oh, well, I think Pisces and Cancer.
Flipping egg. All right.
But that's nice.
Okay, is
like,
it?
Yeah, they want to have, a bit of bump and grind, or a nice, like they want to have a nice cuddle up in pajamas by the fire or something.
Well, that doesn't take very long to get ready for, does it?
No, but they might think about like getting the right wine in, and Taurus. I see Sarah's put in Taurus there. I would agree with Taurus. Anyone that's a home bird is going to love this question.
Okay.
And I would say Taurus, Pisces, and Cancer. The three that love being at home
and ironing their pajamas for
I'm not going to say
evening.
Not the Pisces ironing pajamas,
Right.
and I wouldn't either. But they'll like fluff up the cushions. They'll get their throw blankets. They might light a candle.
Yeah, all normal stuff. Okay.
No, I don't think that is normal stuff. I think that's lovely.
All right, excellent. Alexandra, who do you think spends most time getting ready for a night in, not a night out?
Again, I'm gonna go with Virgo on this one because I get the whole Taurus Cancer thing, but I think they literally live at home. It wouldn't be hard for them because that's just night in is every night. So I think the people that would struggle with it most is Virgo because they'd rather be doing something useful and they don't know how to relax and chill out. Like they just literally they just don't know how to do that. It's like, what does that look like? What's the point of that?
So there'd be a lot of fretting going on with that. Yes. Yeah. Okay, brilliant.
What do I have to do? How does that look? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. All the pressure of an evening in. Okay, totally get that. Cheryl Wolf says Taurus, and Jodie Lee agrees with you, Louisa. Thank you, Alexandra. Let's go to Jasmina on this question then. Who's spending the most time getting ready for a night in? Jasmina?
Yeah, Virgos, absolutely, because they need to clean everything 3 times and make sure there's no spots on the windows or everything, when the guests are coming. So absolutely, yes. I agree with you, Alexandra. And I would add Scorpios. Why? Because it takes time to do the research to find who is coming, all the
yes.
and to find out all the little things of who is coming to my house. So it takes a long time to research that. So I would say Scorpios as well, for sure.
Thank you very much for that, Jasmina. Kimberly, what do you think?
Okay, I need the question clarified. Are you staying home by yourself or you?
That's a good question. That is
because that changed my answer when she started talking about inviting people over.
True.
I thought it was just about you being home alone, and I was going to actually say,
no, I was thinking like
that Capricorns planned for a week to have their Friday night alone, and that after work is over, and their favorite little bubble bath, and all of the perfect cup, and all of that stuff. And it was I was going to say Capricorn. But
it's interesting, Kimberly. Sorry, it's interesting, Kimberly.
Party.
Yeah, it never occurred to me to be alone. Like night in, you obviously going to have company. I'm a Gemini. Like who wants to prepare for the?
Always 2 of you.
Never alone. Brilliant. So
may I share a story?
Well, Kimberly needs to tell us who she thinks.
Oh yeah,
that's the Capricorn night in in But if you've got company coming around, like Aruna Raja's new husband, look at this, has a rising of Cancer and a Saturn in Pisces, and he loves nights in. He goes to all the effort of a dressing gown, slippers, food, wine, and a good comedy film. So cozy.
I love that.
That's all right. Your dog wants to talk on this as well, Kimberly. Go ahead.
Cancer. I'm going to say Cancer for if it's a party with more people.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic.
Their house has to be perfect, and everybody has to. It has to be beautiful for everybody. Yeah.
Well, that was a wonderful a question within the question there
Yeah.
from you. Yeah. Pisces apparently. Oh, yeah. You got a story to tell. Go
I
on.
do have a very short story. I can't talk too much about it.
Okay.
I don't suppose this person's going to be watching.
This is
Not
the
in a million
night that
years.
they suddenly think, oh, that's interesting. I'll tune in to Louisa's program tonight. Yeah, go on.
I once spent the night at somebody's house, not because of anything going on.
What do you mean?
Okay,
carry on.
It was a work
carry on,
colleague.
yes,
It was a
okay,
work colleague
yes,
who was a Virgo.
Yes.
And like you'd look at him and think, oh my God, it's Virgo.
Yeah.
And it was very much like the character from what's that program? With those computer nerds that like gaming and
The
stuff.
IT crowd.
No, not the IT crowd.
Okay.
An American one. And he's like, I think his name's Jim.
When I Met Your Mother, or
No.
Okay, anyway, carry on.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah.
But this guy who's like very tall and almost like a robot, and like really
Big
looks
Bang.
like a Virgo.
Big Bang.
There you go.
Theory.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Kimberly. Thank you.
My work colleague and I had got stranded in London and I couldn't get home and I had to stay at his house. And yes, he had a bed that I could stay on and his house was immaculate. But he opened up his cupboards and there were about 5 pairs of matching pajamas that were all ironed, hanging in his cupboard. And when I had to stay at his house, he gave me slippers and he gave me a clean pair of ironed pajamas so that I didn't mess up his lovely, comfy sofa.
Nice touch. That's hospitality.
I couldn't run out there as I was horrified. You know, like the Sagittarius Pisces in me was like, run,
Screaming,
run for your life.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I think that Shannon's
Bless
saying
him.
Big Bang, not what happened that night,
No,
but that was the name of the
not.
program you were looking for.
Yes,
I think.
Yes, it was.
Okay, all right. That's not normal to me, says Jodie. I wish I had more Earth energy. We're up to 10 o'clock.
Can we do one more question?
I think that's a really great idea. So let's go to the last question. We're on number 7 there. 33 was the next request from Amy's Menagerie Enlightenment. So let's finish with this one tonight. And this is a great question. Which sign have you most underestimated? And I think it begins with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, I'm a Sagittarius. Like, if you look at my chart, most of my chart is in Sagittarius and Pisces, and the 2 signs that I have mostly underestimated would be Virgo and Gemini. So I'm really sorry for you Gemini peeps, in particular you, Jasmina. And I've got heaps and heaps of friends who are Geminis, and it's not that I underestimate them, but I don't know. It's taken me a long time just to realize how. Sarah's saying her opposite sign, which is Sag. I absolutely love Geminis and find myself in Gemini company a lot. And yet I realize we think really differently, and I've underestimated the power of their brains and how they can say a sentence in a few words rather than rambling like I do. And I'm full of awe and admiration to the Gemini energy because I just can't do it. I don't know how you do it, in fact. So I've underestimated you. Not you personally, Jasmina, or Sarah, who's watching. But you know, I absolutely love you.
That's wonderful. Okay. So
and the Virgos, their ability to smarten things up and straighten things up, and their ability to care.
You've underestimated that as well.
Yeah.
Okay. This
does
in
matter.
many ways, this show has been the I love you but show, hasn't it? And I hope we'll do a part 2 of it. Thanks for that, Louisa. Let's go to Alexandra on that. Who have you most underestimated? Which sign, Alexandra? I will unmute you from this end. Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I'm going to go with Libra. Libra will present themselves in such a bland, kind of unoffensive way, and it's disguising so much, like Aries will. And they're sneaky fuckers. Sorry, they could be. Sorry.
It's okay, carry on.
Yeah,
okay.
so
We'll take that out in the edit.
We won't.
I think they're typically diplomacy is their superpower, and it covers up a lot that's going on under the surface. I think they're a little bit more deeper than they let on.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right. So, and again, I mean, you're owning this, aren't you? It's saying more
Yeah.
about the person viewing here than the person that they're looking at.
Yeah, totally.
Which is wonderful.
You should go to Kimberly next, who is a Libra.
Kimberly, how about you
Oh
next?
God, sorry, Kimberly.
Yes.
Well, I know, but I was thinking maybe I've underestimated the Libras, and you're right, because they sit back and wait till they can. Well, that could be my Scorpio, though. That, you know, we wait till we can come in for the sting. It's like we can be the diplomat until it's time to cut your head off.
That's what Sarah means here. A Libra will take you out.
It's beautiful. Yeah. It's like, how beautiful was that tech gown?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with you. Maybe I've underestimated the Libra too. But I was trying to think of, it's like, what is it? You know, and it almost needs to be more specific. What have I underestimated about them? Because I was going through each sign and kind of feeling like, who do I feel the most distant from? Who do I not really know? You know, and I'm not sure who that is right now. I don't know. I'm not sure. So I'm going to go with Libra. I've underestimated myself.
Fair enough. All right. Excellent. Thank you very much for that. And thanks everybody for your
what about
comments tonight.
Jasmina?
And yet,
sorry.
Which sign is most likely to interrupt you while you're presenting a show?
Sagittarius.
That'll be a Sagittarius, of course. Jasmina, over to you.
I totally agree with Libras. That was my first thought, because they're very gentle on the outside, but then they hit you when you don't see it. You know, somebody said analogy, like they have a glove, but there's an iron hand inside. So that's so that's what they are. So absolutely. But I'm sorry about this. I know you're my host, and I really appreciate you, but cancers can be really I underestimate a bunch of cancer. Look, my mom was a Cancer. My brother, I have a lot of Cancerians in my family that runs there. So I know the energy, because it is caring, but there's always an agenda there that it's not shown right away. So you underestimate that in the beginning, right? Yeah. It can be that secret agenda that it's behind. I have a Venus in Cancer and Jupiter. I know that I can be that as well. So in that sense, it can be.
Yeah, the body language is happening here.
Sorry. So,
you know, I absolutely forgive you. It might take a really long time, but I do forgive you.
Yeah, okay, exactly. Anyway, just a thought. Anyway, I love my Cancerian people, but it is some kind of, in the beginning, when on the first attempt, when you first see them, you can underestimate them because they show up the care. But care can come with a cost sometimes. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, that's really clever. I love that.
Okay, who do I send the bill to? Right, okay, thank you very much, all of you. I think it wouldn't be fair, because we've been talking about the generalities, stereotypes even, of the signs, and we made special reference to 2024. And where we are right now, I think it's like bonkers. And this might be another word that Jodie, as well as whinging, like bonkers is like, I mean, these are crazy times we're living in. So by way of a conclusion to tonight's show, and I hope we'll do another one, with this, because it's been a great idea, and thank you all for taking part. Both the astrologers on the screen, thank you for letting me be here as a non-astrologer, and everybody who's been commenting in the chat has been absolutely fantastic. But I'd love a concluding thought, like a last word from each of you about these times. You know, what's going on. That's what I look at YouTube a lot. I just want to know what's going on at the moment, and I suspect I'm not alone with that. So, Alexandra, could you give us like a paragraph or so about what you think is going on right now in this time in human history for us human beings? Perhaps not. Alexandra, like a last word. What's going on in the big astrological picture? What's going on for people at the moment? These crazy times that we're living in.
Is this on?
Yeah, to you.
Please, we're going to go around. We're going to go around the clock face. Yeah,
we can hear you, love.
No, you carry on. You carry on.
Okay, sorry, I can't really hear very much. I would just say, in all seriousness, it's messed up. It's just completely messed up. But we have to dig deep and find and just trust that a part of us chose this. Like, we chose to incarnate at this time. It's this crazy space where the old world is dying out, the new world is coming in. None of us feel prepared for it, or like we have any kind of power or influence in it. And I think that we just have to understand that everyone is doing their best, because I haven't met a single person in the last couple of years from any walk of life that doesn't feel it, that isn't feeling things are weird and messed up and I just don't know what to do about it. Not a single place, it doesn't matter what your political persuasion is, your spiritual beliefs, your gender, your age, or nothing. We all have this unification in the experience that we're going through as human souls, and it's really bloody hard and everyone's doing their best, but somehow we have to remember a part of us chose this trip. And just to kind of like see it as just that. It's like none of us is getting out of here alive. Let's take as much growth out of it as we can, and then just drink a lot, basically.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Okay, thank you very much. Here's to that. Cheers. Brilliant, Alexandra. Thanks for being here tonight. Jasmine, let's go to you for that last word. Those sort of concluding thoughts on this time in human history.
That was amazing. I feel that we are on a bridge of change. As we all know, many things are happening. A new world is coming sooner or later. Different world, not a new, but a different one. So just my thoughts are going that we all need to find the strength within ourselves to embrace the changes that are coming, not resist them, because it's going to be harder on us if we resist them. We don't know what's happening. We don't know what's going on. What will this be? We can't imagine. It's so unpredictable. There are a lot of changes that we cannot grasp at the moment. What will it be? But having in mind that it will change, and then we can ride along the wave, because we have it in ourselves. Knowing that, we can conquer all the issues that are going to face us. And I still feel there is hope for humanity. Yeah. There is hope for humanity. So bless us all. That's
Amen.
all.
Namaste. Thank you very much. Very good. Kimberly, let's go to you on this.
I think I'll be the doomsdayer now. So
yeah, go on. Yeah, give it to us straight, Libra.
Fear. Honestly, I don't think the human mind can even sort it out or grasp whatever it is that's going on. And I do think it's something that's really big that was already written before we put on these DNA skin suits. And I don't know that there is hope for humanity, honestly. I think that there may be powers that are deciding, will humanity stay as the top species of this planet? Maybe we've already done enough damage and it's time to step aside and let something that knows how to really embody love and compassion be.
This is why your dog was barking earlier on, right? Your dog was ready for this moment, right?
She's ready for it. She's a Pisces.
She's so ready, born ready.
She's a Pisces with Libra rising and a Cancer and Moon. So she is here to bring it.
Brilliant. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you very much indeed. And Louisa, last word to you. And thanks for bringing this together. It's been amazing tonight. And I think there is a lot of goodwill for yes to a part 2, says Havana Blast. So I think we should do this again if you don't mind me saying so. And Sarah's going to go down swinging. So what do you think?
Well, I agree with everyone. And I really like picking up on what Alexandra was saying. Alexandra was saying she hasn't met anyone in the last few years that hasn't just been A, struggling, but B, a really cool person. Like, you've met loads of great people. And I think we need to really learn from each other at the moment. Like, I think in the last few years, we've been getting really massive clues as to what we like and what our preferences are. I mean, we've been really put through the mills as to what our belief systems are. And now we've kind of been encouraged to define our belief systems. We see that there are people with opposing belief systems to us. And I think right now, with all this oppositional energy in astrology, it's time to learn from each other, because I agree with Alexandra. Like, I've like politically and health-wise and all sorts of different ways, my client base are really split, almost 50-50. And I love and appreciate all of them. And when I talk with them, they all come from a really sound place. They're all loving people. And no matter what gets whipped up in the world, like we're meant to hate this person and, because they represent the othering. I think what it's all about now is to let go of the othering and realize that we've chosen to be here, and it's one hell of a ride, and we're on a massive expansion.
Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable, and we can't do discomfort unless we can kind of see beyond our positions.
And the understanding that astrology brings, if I may add this,
Yeah.
allows us to understand our templates or makeup, doesn't it, in a way that's forgiving and accepting rather than dividing. That's the beauty of it. I think that you all do here. It's like an insight, isn't it, into how we're all working and what makes us tick. And in that spirit, you can say, of course that's what they would do in this situation. They're not against me. They're just according to their nature in this particular situation. And that's, to me, is the true diversity that can be revealed in astrology and can make the world tick. So thank you all very much. Fun time. I've got lots of lovely feedback here to you all, you wonderful astrologers. Fun time. Thanks. And it's especially nice to join with kindred spirits. That's certainly an overwhelming feeling tonight, isn't it? Kindred spiritdom, if that's what it's called. So thank you very much. Is it all right to press the button, Mrs. M, and end the show? I don't want to, but
I just want to say a final word, if I may.
Yes, of course.
And that is, I really, really, really love and appreciate you guys for joining me here tonight. Thank you so much for volunteering your time and for being up for this really quite bonkers night.
In bonkers
because we didn't know exactly which questions were going to come out, and we were all put on the spot and stuff, but I've really enjoyed it, and thank you, Carl, for hosting.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you
very much, everyone that's
for
joined us
in
the chat room.
All right, thanks so much. Take care and bye for now.
Thank you both.